just where you were talking there about the coming together to do that recording session. Was that when you knew that the tour was going to take place? I mean, when did you know about the tour and how large it was going to be in terms of going to so many countries? And
I think we knew about the tour, but it wasn't all booked.
right,
I think during the recording, there was maybe still a couple of places that was not booked. But we decided to go to a proper studio. I think there was was never the idea of doing it remotely. We had like a playlist of songs that we chose, and then we just went there and just do it.
and with I mean, obviously we heard 2 songs on the tour from those sessions. I can't wait to hear the rest of it. But I mean, how long did it take to put the album together? Then how long did you have in Trastevere?
Oh well, well, in the studio we were there for a week, like 10 days maybe. It was a week, and then we just finished like a little bit earlier, and we had like a couple of days more, and we just stayed there, and we just tracked some more violin parts, and some keyboards, some extra stuff. And it was like 10 days in the studio. Then I and then me and Rob, I recorded the vocals, and at the beginning I was I was thinking to record the vocals on my own, just at home,
Right.
and but then I started, and I was going into the producer thing.
Yeah.
It was not what I wanted, so I said, I don't think I can do it. It's like the first album with Big Train. It's the first album with me and without David. The vocals need to be perfect. They need to be like the right thing to do. And
Right.
so, and I wasn't. I have this problem because I sing, I play, I had the recording studio, and I produce, and I'm mixing, I'm doing everything.
Too many things.
Too many things. So and there I said, no, I just need to sing, because I was going around on one word or one sentence for like an hour. I said, this is not the way. I don't want to do it. So I just stopped. I went back to the studio where we recorded, like here in my hometown. And I said to the engineer, the album was engineered by Rob. He was here with us.
Right.
But the studio has the studio engineer, the studio owner, and that is he is in his 70s, and he's like a great guy to work with, really relaxed, and he knows what he's doing, of course. And I said, what about I just come here and I try to sing one song and see how it's going? And he said, yes, of course. And I remember we went there, and the first day it was just experimenting with microphones and preamps and the right compression on the voice and the right thing, just to find the flavor and what it's suit my vocals and stuff. And I just went there and I just sang the song, and we said, I think this is the right way to do it. And actually, I think I sang everything in, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. 4 days maybe. I just went there, and Greg, of course, came back to Trieste here in my just to, because I was worried about the English, of course, the pronunciation and everything. So I wanted to be sure to, and again, not to do it remotely.
Right.
It was better. I said, Greg, do you want to come to Italy again for a couple of days? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And it just came. He didn't. He had still the pack, like the
had it unpacked.
Yeah, everything packed. So it was just. He went. He came back here, and I just sang the songs, I don't know, 3-4 times from start to the end, and that's it. And we just choose chose the parts. That's it. There's no editing. There's no tuning. There's nothing. We just did it in the right way, in the most genuine way, and it worked. It worked.
So when we actually get to hear the final recording, then you hopeful that it will have more of that live performance feel to it then? Because certainly performing live and hearing these new songs for the first time, it was just like goosebumps, you know, because they're great songs.
It was for me too, I think. Love is the Light, my song. It was like, I remember the first time we just played it in front of people. And while I was singing it, I just realized that it's a thing. Like, it's a real song, and people is listening to one of my songs.
It's a personal song for you, is that one as well, isn't it?
It is a personal song. Yeah. And I actually realized that during the performance. I didn't think about it. I was like, all right, okay, it's in the set list, let's do it.
Right.
And then I realized, oh, all right, okay, enjoying it. So okay, that's cool. So it's okay. They're listening to it, so it's good.
They listen to it. I think. Did you feel yourself? I thought from seeing. I can say this because I saw the shows. I thought as the tour went on, the reaction to it got better because it became a big number in the set where we do this kind of call and refrain. You'd sort of make the crowd sing back to you, and it was the tour was I think every night was more and more, and I don't, and it's not because the people get used to, well, you you got used to the songs, but I mean, people were different people in different audience. So I think we were better. We just felt better and just more free to just, and also enjoying the music while we were singing or playing. Musicians are terrified to just do it wrong. For some reason. You're just terrified. You have your mind just going, oh, all right, I have to think about that and that, and then this bits and that, the words, and I will I will forget the words, of course. And so and actually after the first or 2 gigs, I remember I had the conversation with Nick DiVirgilio, and we said together, I said, who cares? It's just like music. And people will experience. Actually, somebody will not notice. Somebody will not notice there's a mistake or something wrong with the thing. And if they notice it, they experienced that. It's just a moment that people will experience, and we will do it right next time. And we just learn from the mistakes and just doing that. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing for live situation. I think the spontaneity of live music overcomes, minor mistakes. I think you'd rather have the live experience as a fan. I'd rather have the live experience, however it comes, you know.
Absolutely.
But I mean, the thing with Big Big Train music too, there's 11 of you on stage, and there's no conductor, and you're playing this, you know, something like East Coast Racer or Brooklyn's. It's hard, right?
That's a hard, yeah. Well, actually, it's. I think for everybody has a song that it's hard for each.
Right.
I remember the first rehearsal that we did, like in last year. We just went together. Everything was set. Okay, all right. Do you want to play a song? Which song do you want to play? And I said, can we do Meet All in Winter? I said, because for me, it was like a nice song to play first.
Right.
And Nick Virginia said, are you crazy? It's the most difficult song ever. I said, really? I don't know. So I think everybody has the most difficult song in their mind. And actually, this is really, really like East Coast Racer. That it's, of course, it's a difficult song. It's just, and and as you said, there's no conductor, and there is just, it's just everybody. It's on the same level, and sometimes it's the guitar is leading, sometimes the drums, sometimes the piano, the violin, or the vocals too.
Yeah.
So it's and you can play and you can move on this kind of leading roles.
Yeah.
In one song, and this is beautiful. But you can do it if you have musicians like that.
Yes.
And it's so natural just to go into a part, into a movement, into different structures and stuff.
I wanted to ask you about East Coast Racer particularly because I think I read in a different interview you said the second half of it is hard. What makes it that hard for you as a vocalist? Or were you talking more just generally it's hard the second half?
No, it's hard to count. It's hard to not count. That is the difficult part, because if you count, your mind is not set into the song, but it's set into the tempo of the song.
Right.
So you have to just like just flying above the tempo and just doing it and just feeling it, just trying to feel in it. But to feel it, it's so difficult. And I did it for my audition.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah.
The second part of East Coast Racer was the first thing that I sang. And I remember I wrote to Greg. I said, well, it's beautiful, but I think it's the most difficult song in the world to sing. It's so difficult, and I have no idea how. I don't know if it was like the vocal line is Greg's or it was David doing it. I have no idea. I think it's Greg's,
right,
from the kind of thing. But it's so difficult, just so difficult to connect with the song and be in the song and not thinking about just what's going on.
Yeah.
And of course, the She Flies thing at the end, it's really funny because it's absolutely not the most difficult thing to do. It's not difficult. It's just a note.
Yeah,
it's not a really high note. There is really more difficult stuff in the song and in the set list to sing. But that moment, it's what everybody is waiting for.
Yeah.
Because that moment, it's iconic for Big Big Train fans. And David, made it iconic, I think. Because It's so, and if you, and it's it's a difficult just moment. If I always say, like, just to the people, just sing with me in that moment.
Right.
I need help I need energy from the people to sing that part.
And you get so you can feel that directly as a performer. You pull that in from the audience.
Oh yeah. I can do it. Yeah. And actually I can tell you, it's so this time, because the last tour, it was so emotional. I had so much stuff in my mind. It was a big pressure the last year tour, because it was a small tour, and I had a lot of in my mind. It was I enjoyed it, but it was really, really stressful for me. This time, people knew me a little bit more. They saw me at the last tour. Yeah, the previous tour. It was like a little bit. I was more relaxed to enjoying it and try to push my boundaries in some way, and so but I was not sure. It was an experiment also for me. Just go there and just like watch the people and reaction and see if I can feel the energy from the audience, and I actually did. It worked. Like I felt it, and I think I could give to them some emotions or something. It's every gig there was like at least one man crying.
I know there was a lot more than one.
Yeah, and that's it. That's my job. That if it's not my job, the band job, of course. But I mean, it was like, I remember in Gothenburg, I think we were
in the theater. Gothenburg was a big theater,
like the classical music.
Yes, that's right.
Wood thing.
Yeah.
There was like a lady at the in the middle of the theater for the encore. There was like an old lady that was there, like standing with the hand like crossed like that. She was just in another dimension, I think. And it was so, I get emotional now just talking about it. It was so, and I was singing "Love Is the Light," and I was just watching her, and it was so difficult to not get emotional about this. She was really into that, and after the gig, she just stopped me and said, like, I never heard Big Train in my life. It was like the first time that I was at the gig, because she was with her husband or a friend. I don't know. And I said, and then she just thanked me. She said, like, this is the best thing in my life. So it was like that it's great. I mean, it's why we are doing this.
Yeah. But I mean, certainly during the tour, night after night, I just sat there thinking, this is just great. You know, it's what's the best way? It's like a more I hate this phrase, but it's a more radio friendly song.
Yeah,
you know, it's got lyric, a chorus, melodies, and it's not too long and instrumental that kind of sometimes puts people off. And it's still a big Train song, but it's just a different direction.
And "Love Is the Light," it's the more like radio, yes, more poppy, not poppy, but it's more radio friendly song,
accessible,
yes. Yeah. The album, it's prog, it's folkish, It's and it's really personal. That's the, I think that maybe Greg said that in maybe in another interview or something. I can remember, and it's actually true. It's really personal.
In Greg's tour diary, or the stuff he was publishing online, he'd often say, me and Alberto went off to this museum, or we went off. So you seem to have within the band, you guys seem to have a good connection when it comes to things like that.
It was also that from day one. I think we just connected, and I don't know. Like he didn't know me, of course, personally, and but I don't know. It was like on the right at the beginning, he somehow trusted me. He had, and I was never, I wasn't expecting to get the job. Actually, it was just okay. I'll do it. I tried to do the best that I could, but I have no idea, because I had no idea who was the other. I still don't know, and I don't want to know who was involved in the auditions.
Right.
But actually, yeah, there was trust from the beginning. There was respect from the beginning. I don't know. I can see genuine people, and the energy that was there. It was so positive, and yeah, and then we discover, like one day after the other, that we had stuff in common. And we have different age, different experience, and different lives, of course. But we had like things in common. I said, like, during the tour, it was the best thing, because actually we said, like, all right, I wake up early, and he's not sleeping, so he's waking up early. So we were the first one, like, there in the bus, and he said, and we just decided, all right, what we're gonna do today.
It's great that you have that rapport together, where you can, in almost any situation, find creative inspiration. I mean, that is almost like I'm not a musician, but that must be almost like the ideal, to have a kind of someone who thinks the way that you think, and you can start to bounce ideas off each other in that way.
I tried a lot of time to find someone that could be like a person to just work with. I get bored really fast, so I have to just do it. And now, because if not, I just get bored. So yeah. So yeah. So sometimes I'm a little bit of stressed to people, and and so I never found someone that can stay at my rhythm and my thing. And actually, Greg is like me. He really like to do stuff, and maybe he knows that I do stuff, and he can just sometimes just stay back and wait for stuff, and then just go when the time is right.
Right.
Just coming with the lyrics or something, or an idea or some stuff, and it's great. It's challenging. It's
maybe that's one of the things he sensed. Maybe that's one of the things he sensed in your audition, how you approached, joining the band, and he maybe was looking for that as well, as just someone to stand there and sing, because there were lots of singers. But I think, just from a fan's point of view, watching you on the tour, these are your songs to bring alive now, and you are the singer of Big Big Train, and you do bring it's a different personality to the band, but it's an incredible personality. It comes across. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say.
Well, yeah, I mean, as you said, there is a lot of singers, and it's Um, now I see it differently, actually, because I have this role, and so I experience different things. But before Baby Train, I always said, like, to people and stuff, to said, "Oh wow, you I don't know, you're playing with PFM with like everywhere and stuff." I said, I'm not really the best singer in the world. I'm not the best keyboard player in the world or guitar player in the world. I was playing there everything. I said, I'm not, but I'm in time and on time, and I know when to talk, and I know when to not talk. And actually, that is the most important things. It's not there is like the talent. It's there is like 1,000 people, and but and now I see it in another way. I see it in the connection with the people.
Right, because you're the frontman.
I'm the frontman, so I see it in another. It's another dimension of that. So you need to be in time, and you need to be on time. You need to be mentally okay to do this, and also you need to engage with people, and you can also have you can have a bad night because whatever you are sick or there's something wrong, but you need to connect with people with everything that you have, and so that it's the most important thing. It's not actually the voice. Then if you can sing well, that's a plus.
Yeah. I don't think there's any doubt for anyone who went to these shows that you are a natural frontman. I mean, in a way, not just the obvious things that a frontman does, but the little moments that you only get live, like heavy metal singing.
Oh yeah.
or do you remember that night in Stuttgart where you done the kind of heavy metal thing, and then Rickard said, "So what about a bit of opera?" And yeah. Okay, Ness and Dorma, and Rickard just, you could tell, he looked at you, was like, "Yeah, I'm not even going to try."
It was that's stuff that you can do with those people, with those guys. You can do with Rickard, with Nick, with everybody in that band. You can do this kind of stuff. That is the greatest thing ever. That you can be focused and play those beautiful but really difficult tunes. But then just like that, you can go into the funny thing and spontaneous thing, and just improvise, and just the guys are there with you. So whatever I say, we now we know each other a little bit better, so they know what I'm going to do, maybe.
Yeah.
And they are just going, and it was just nothing was prepared. It was just.
Actually, talking about Italian, I did want to ask you quickly about the night in Rebeslate.
Yeah.
What was it? I mean, what it was like to go back and play with Big Train in Italy before a home crowd, and that must have been special.
That was the most difficult one, I think, for me personally. I don't know. In my mind, there was like I was really excited, of course, but I was worried because you are in front of your people that they don't know what to expect. So it can be dangerous because you're I tried to give like 100% there, but I was really, really emotional because it was I had my wife in front of me for the first time, and I said, like, please don't go in the front row, just go in the back. And she was, of course, in the front row, just looking at me. Thank you. So that was difficult, and it was not like the big audience the problem. It was like my wife, it was my friends there. That is the problem. It's
it's funny, it narrows down. So you've got this big crowd, but actually it narrows down to...
No, I was playing for 10 people. My focus was to not let down 10 people. That was was on my mind. I said, don't fuck it up. Don't get it right just for them. And anyway, it's like when I was like a child, and my mom said, "What? Like play a song for Uncle stuff." And I was I was just, it was the worst thing ever. But then you go to sing in front of 2,000 people, and there's no problems. So
there's because there's no one that you personally know that you're thinking.
No, you can do whatever you want, but do whatever my wife is. She's not used to look at me doing that thing,
right?
So she was, after the gig, she just was staring at me like she was with a girlfriend, and that she's just a colleague, like from work.
Yes.
So she knew that I was a musician, but she didn't know what I was doing. She had no idea about the music. She was just there with my wife. So, and she was in the front row. And after the gig, she was like looking at me like in a weird way, like with the she said like, it's what I just saw. I wasn't expect that. And she was like, "Are you real?" Like touching me, like, "Are you real? You are the same guy that we were like had a coffee like last week?"
Yeah.
She had no idea that and my wife said like, "You're moving. You're just moving on stage. I never see you."
Because I guess at PFM you were just behind the keyboards, and
he was just behind the keys, right? I was not moving, no. So she was like really surprised and, "You're moving."
I remember thinking in Rebeslase, actually, after Pure Reason Revolution finished and then Big Big Train came on. Again, it's the scale of the group. I mean, there's 11 of you on stage. So, you know, the other bands were kind of like tucked in the middle. And in a way, Rebeslase was the one venue where you really did have that freedom and space to move around. Because it was a big platform, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. The tour was good because we experienced different kind of gigs. Because we were like in Aschaffenburg, just packed.
Yeah,
everybody was packed, and then we had the big theater, and then we have the open air, and then we stuff. But I mean, Aschaffenburg was one of the best for me.
Because it was so intimate and so...
Yeah, it was so good.
Like the Cabin Club or something.
Yeah, it was so good. And I remember that we were like during the sound check and stuff. Of course, the drums were not on a riser, and it was like, this is not working, and the brass are just there in the back. They are so close. I cannot move and stuff. And when we just started the show, we just watching each other and said, "Oh, this is good."
Is that what you do? Can you tell, Jet, on stage? Are you giving each other little glances just to say, "Yeah, this is going really well"? You know, you sense it, yeah.
Absolutely, yes, yeah. You can feel it, and it's different every night, and every night's different from each other. Because sometimes I had like bad nights that everybody say, "Wow, this was great." Oh, it's not. It was just horrible. But then you have the positive thing from the others. So it's good. But yeah, I think Aschaffenburg was great. Edinburgh was great. But I know that Rob was not happy with the sound.
Right. Do you and Rob have more discussion during the shows and the sound check? Because obviously you studied sound engineering and everything, and you produce. So does that give you a little bit more affinity for what he's trying to do in terms of balancing, mixing?
Well, me and Rob worked on the album because we mixed it together.
Right.
So and just created a really nice bond, I think, with each other and trust. And of course, I have the role of the singer there, and I am worried about that. So it's too early for me to be focused 100% on everything. So I wanted to do that. I wanted to contribute just more and more to have a better show, a better sound, a better thing. But it's difficult to have like a lot of stuff in the live situation.
One thing I did want to ask you about was we were talking earlier on about how this tour was a bit different from last year because it was a much bigger series of dates. There would have still been quite a lot of people out there who were maybe still waiting to see what Alberto's got. You know, there was that they were coming with curiosity as well to see the band. And so what did it mean to do some songs that Big Train had never played live before? Because like, you know, something like a Boy in Darkness, I mean, live became almost not unrecognizable, but it's a very different song to hear live than to hear on the record. Even though the record is a brilliant version and the vocal is powerful and it's an emotional song.
Yeah.
Live, it's like an avalanche.
It was like that was an experiment. There was like a couple of songs that we had there. Just see in the we'll see in the rehearsals how they are going, and then decide to do it or not. Like Brooklyn. Right. Brooklyn's was one of the songs that we were not sure because of the strings arrangements and stuff that will it work? I don't know. And then it worked pretty well for me, I think. Boy in Darkness, it was that, and Keeper of Abyss was another one that we didn't know how to do it. Mm-hmm. I was never really sure about it, but yeah. but we did it, and I think now with the new songs, and if we can play songs that David didn't sing live, it's a good move to do. Because East Coast Racer, I mean, it's of course you have the David versions and you will have mine, and they are different, and people will compare it forever. I'm okay with that. It's just different. But having to work like as we or a different thing last year we played just once we played Summer Sleaze that David didn't sing in the album, but he sang it I think at Lorelei I think,
yeah,
live situation. So that was another example of something that he had to just interpret it in his own way. Yeah. And I do the same. I mean, it's just, and the thing is that what I was working on it's just not to sound like a cover band.
Right.
Because if you sound like a copy or a cover band or something, and you try to do what he was trying to do, that is dangerous, because you're just trying to do what he was doing. But we are different people. We're different guys. Different experience, different age, different whatever, different kind of voice. So I'm trying to also with the thing that he never played live, try just to move it a little bit, just doing differently, put an accent on different word, just put the weight, just move the weight on one sentence and not in the another one. It's a tricky thing, but as you said, the live version was like a different thing from the album, and that's the goal, just to have a different vibe, different kind of situation.
What was the experience like of touring as a band?
Well, the experience was absolutely great. So first of all, everybody's professional. Everybody was on time, and well prepared. So that it's the first thing, and it's not always like that. So so this is the first point. So everybody was there. Everybody in the band likes to party, and that's the second nice thing. And everybody likes to party in a healthy way. So not to the extreme.
Right.
So we had so much fun in the tour bus, and still we did parties and stuff, and
karaoke disco,
karaoke things, and whatever, Greg dancing stuff. Stuff happened. So stuff happened. But we actually had this conversation one night. I remember that we said, like, I think anyone here will have like a bad drunk night, or problems, or creating problems that can be like, oh, whoa, that's too much. You know, it happened. I mean, it's happened like when you have a friend that drink too much, and it's like, oh my God, I want to go home now, and I don't want to stay with him. Everybody has this kind of guys. But we had the conversation between us, and he said, like everybody here is just enjoying the time that we have. So it was so fun, and in a tour situation like that, you need to be physically but also mentally stable. Like, you need to be in the right place, because if not, you are in a bus for a month with, they are not people that are in your life every day.
Mm-hmm.
So so you have to know when you can say something, and you have to know where you have to just be on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Because people need space and need time and need or they need you to have a party, or have a conversation, an emotional conversation, or just a silly stuff, or music thing, or just listen to music, or just having a beer, or tasting whiskey. I mean, everybody is different, but in this case, I think everybody is in the right place, and he's in the right. It was just fun. It was just fun to be together, and it's not easy for, like, people watching from outside. It seems like, oh, you do your dream job. It's a job, like another job. It's not the 2 hours in the on stage. That's the fun. The 2 hours on stage, I do it for free. I don't need money or stuff to do that. That is the great thing. It's all the rest.
Of all the shows, I mean, can you pick a favorite? Can you say, yeah, that, for whatever reason, whether it was just the audience or the atmosphere or the venue or the fact that you did a great show, you know, what for you was the highlight of the tour?
One, it was Aschaffenburg. I think, I don't know why, the vibe, the sweat, I don't know. But that place, and I was there twice. I was the first time I was there in that club. I was doing front of house, the sound engineer for Rhapsody of Fire. So I was there as a sound engineer.
Right.
The second time we played with PFM there. So that was the third time, and I just enjoyed that. It was just so good. I don't know. It was. I think everybody, if you ask to everybody, I think
I will.
you will, and I'm curious, but I think so. That was like special.
So you did the huddle, and you came out and did the huddle in the audience as well.
Yeah. There was Andy V idea. I said like, we're just going, because to go on stage you have to go through the people. So he said like, why we're not doing our thing in the center of the all the place. It was a nice idea, and so we just connect with the people like immediately. So it was a nice idea. And I think the first night in London, I remember that I was coming out to sing, and I was starting singing the first folklore chorus. I saw that everybody was singing. It was the first night that everybody was singing there, because it was like, I think it was like the hardcore, like it was like a lot of people that was really, really into it.
Yeah.
Everybody was singing, and we were pretty confident to the performance. So it was like the last two gigs. And I saw that everybody was singing, and I said, like, I had in my mind, I said, all right, we got this. I think this is when it will go well. And so I was like, all right, just sing along. And I was not singing actually for like a lot of stuff. I was just let the audience just sing. And that was emotional.